My writing book. This had one of those. Maybe I can ask Susan for some paper.
I have paper if you need some.
Huh?
I have paper if you need some.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, that would be great actually. Thank you. Yeah.
Testing các bác và các anh chị có nghe tiếng không? Testing các bác và các anh chị có nghe tiếng không? Dạ kính thưa các bác các anh chị. Xin check lại cái video có nghe tiếng Việt thông dịch không ạ? Nếu mà nghe được thì xin giơ tay lên cho biết. Cảm ơn các. Testing. Nghe được không? Ok. Everybody good ha? Dạ, cảm ơn. Rất loud, you know.
Testing. Yeah, should be okay.
You know? So. Yeah, he just checked.
Just see.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So, please, if you have extra kitchens, pass to some other people. If your area has extra kitchen. So not enough kitchens, and also please, if who don't have a seat, and we have some infra area has some empty here, so you can come move to up here.
Just so. Just look in. Grandin. Taring sampai ke pasar sana. So have you actually seen my book? It completely disappeared. Not this book, the writing book. Have you seen it in general? Because I didn't have two of those. The writing books. The notebook. You don't know. It's okay. Christopher was or lend me some. Which one do you prefer?
Maybe you could just do an opening.
That'll be great, thanks. It's fine, okay.
I'll do it at the break.
Oh my God. I hear anything. Ya puedo morir. Mare cookie. ¿Está bien? Tienen la What's up? This is like. It's not working. If it's like the whole time. But if this is how it is, I need headphones. Kan je goed plaatsen? Cookies en matjes. How about Rinpoche? It's one of is that on? The June door.
There are more people in outside.
Lots of this. Can we have a microphone for Rinpoche temporarily? How about this one? No, his this one. Right, that's the problem, yeah. There's something is not good here. This doesn't work like that. There's no way I can translate that. There's not a shaking, there's like, it's a complete cut off everything. There's no way to hear that. Yeah, there's a, yeah. He needs one of those. Maybe we can share.
Hello.
Maybe we can share one and.
Hello. This is it. Good. Oh yeah. The cool set. Home.
Thank you.
주로는 봤더니 다시 디렉션은 주로만 뭐 벽도 가는데 대니 왕에 대니 마다 왕게 가르지는 왕랑도 또 지시려 왕고요래데 니마리 레지도 소리레지 라망 밤에 그거는 라망 파쇼도요래 라망 쇼도요래 이놈의 지형을 쇼도요래 대탐실들이 저 라망 밑에 살고 som속 라망 처리네 소용송 아니 너라고 소용송 나도 소용도 소리 되는데 라망 산속선에 야소 이용 다디지 파용 다디는 뭐 파용을 이 왕마 보고 요래 저 왕들 가고 소용을
Tashidala, my Dhamma friends, many of my Dhamma friends came here today, so thank you very much for coming. And so today again we will empowerment. All the time, almost every day we receive empowerments. But what actually is the purpose of that? We need those empowerments because we want to attain a freedom and independence, and that is why we receive many empowerments. It is because when we lose our mindfulness, then we become controlled. We lose our freedom. Then we become controlled by our negative emotions. So we receive the empowerment in order to gain the freedom of the deities, enlightened body, speech, and mind. In the Vinaya system, there's a practice called the Sojong, the restoring and the purifying practice, and the empowerment is the Sojong of the Tantric system. So what is restored during the empowerment is the freedom of bodhicitta, and what is purified is the control that we are under of our self-grasping and the negative emotions. So for this reason, we need to receive many empowerments, because the empowerment is the Sojong, the restoring and the purifying practice of the Vajrayana. And so the deity today is Chinvesic, and so normally people think that there is this one form of Chinvesic. They think of Chinvesic as one deity. And in one sense, it is true, there's only one Chinvesic, because in the state of enlightenment, there is no duality. So even though Buddhas appear in many millions and billions of ways and perform countless immeasurable enlightened activities, they in essence are all actually one. And that singular essence is the non-dual primordial awareness. In the state of enlightenment, the state of Buddhahood, there is no duality at all. Lord Chikden Sungden had said, on the level of enlightenment, the state of enlightenment, the two truths are indivisible. There is no distinction between the two truths. So on that level, there is really one Chinvesic. Also it is said that Chinvesic is the father of all deities. But then there's many forms of Chinvesics, many empowerments. Chinvesic, for example, has 100 different names, different emanations. And there are different forms of deities and many different empowerments in accordance with the mental capacity of the practitioner, and whether the capacity is higher, middling, or lower. And then it is not only those three, there's also the middling higher, the middling lower, and the highest capacity, and so on. There's many levels of mental capacity. So those who possess the highest, the sharpest mental capacity, they have made a connection to the Buddha Dharma in the past life, to the deity. They have engaged in practice properly, and so now as a result they possess a higher mental capacity. And then there's others who might have encountered the teachings but also might have encountered some obstacles, and then they belong to the middling mental capacity, and so on. And so according to the various mental capacities, there are also different methods of practice, different sadhanas. According to the 4 classes of Tantra, there are countless different instructions in sadhanas. For example, everyone needs to practice according to their needs. For example, it is just like a little child cannot wear the cloak of an adult, a big person. So everyone needs to wear the clothes according to their size. So as we say in our prayer, the Buddha taught the teachings according to the needs and the diverse mental capacities of sentient beings. And so for this purpose, there also exist various different sadhanas with various forms of deities, with different body colors, implements, and so on.
Tenete kido mangori roa do 참아지 잠이라 망고를 roa 소시 적기 기회가 들어봤지 요래 도도도 리적기 다들 적기 좀이 탐지를 라람도 적는 게들이 너부터 제가 되게 따뜻하나서 망고를 돼 오늘 기회를 찔리지 대 고통을 갈 고통을 이나 왜냐 무서 매당 속차 적기 중에 강을 생을 나오거나 찌와지 상태의 직발이 매일 찌와다 등록을 찌와다 진짜 속차 좀 생든 좀면은 생들 찌와지 와들지 찌와가 찌와지 직발이 오 니는 미자는 찌와지 찌그래 오 찌네도 생때 찌와래 좀 나만은 좀 민을 좀 나만아서 되게 돼서 고라워요 오 기내도 족조치 뭐말이 sen조치 뭐리 sen지 기내도 sen지 찌와치 뭐래 대변 나파다고 잡아줘야지 기내도 상황을 찌와요래 되고로 오 되게 기내도 적도 주고 기내도 sen지 찌와지는 오 제가 사 탕지에 철도도 찌와를 주고 그래 사기서 사축 셈 20을 사탁지 삼지 두고마도 다요 말에 고소라 그리고 저 다음에 잘 들으면서 저 상계 요래 뒤에서 고라고요. 뒤다 고래.
And so there are several new disciples here, and so you might wonder why we say that there is either one deity and then again there's many deities. So if we say that Chinrezig appears in many different forms, then that means that the Nimanakaya form, the form of the deity, appears in the various forms, in the different bodies of the various classes of beings in the 6 realms of samsara. For example, he appears as an animal, or in a hungry spirit realm, or as a being without a body, in order to benefit the beings in that particular realm. So the Buddha emanations appear in various different forms. So that is why we say there are many emanations of Chinrezig. But then when we say there's only one Chinrezig, that might be easier to understand, because that oneness in Chinrezig refers to his mind. And that is a mind of love, and that is something that we can all relate to. The love is always the same, whether it is the love of a person or the love of an animal. The nature of love is the same, or also the love of being without a body. Love is always the cause of happiness of all beings. So, for example, in this room there might be 100 people or so, but the love in our heart is a single one. It is the same. So in that sense, Chinrezig can said to be one, because ultimately Chinrezig is the mind, and Chinrezig's mind is a mind of love. Then many, because he appears in different forms, so the body, the physical form of Chinrezig might be manifold, but the mind is a single one, it's a mind of love. So in this way we can easily understand. The body emanation is not what is most important. What is more important than the body is the mind. And the mind is all pervasive like space. And what pervades like space is the mind of love. Chinrezig loves all beings. So the essence of Chinrezig is this one mind of love. And that is the essence of all the deities. It is said that what we call the deity really is bodhicitta. And that is because the wisdom beings, the deities, they have no self. They only love. Their nature is only love. And also when we let go of our grasping at a self and develop love, then we become just like the deity and attain enlightenment. So in this way we can maybe more easily understand the nature of Chinrezig. And so then from an ultimate perspective, the essence of Chinrezig is love. And so it is said that Chinrezig is the father of all the deities, because ultimately he represents great love. And actually that's really the nature of all the wisdom beings. There is no wisdom being that doesn't have love for all beings. And then that love also, that mind of love also is realized in emptiness. So it is a union of emptiness and compassion. Then the mother of all Buddhas is Tara. She is also referred to as the great mother, the perfection of wisdom, the Prajna Paramita. And so together they represent the indivisibility of emptiness and compassion. One's own mind. It is the union, visibility of clarity and emptiness, and great compassion for all sentient beings who have not realized this nature. So that is the nature of our own mind. It is clear and empty, and there is no duality, no division within the mind on the ultimate level. And then on the relative level, there is a multitude of emanations. But even though that is the case, although there are many deities, many sadhanas, if you understand their ultimate essence, then the variety on the relative level will not exhaust you. You will understand that although there are many sadhanas, many different deities, they all have a single ultimate nature. And so when we engage in practice, we need to come to the root. So the root of all suffering of all sentient beings in the 6 realms of samsara is a single one. Although there are countless millions and billions of sentient beings all appearing in so many different ways, the root of their suffering is a single one, and that is self-grasping. And therefore there is a single antidote. Self-grasping can only be destroyed with a mind of altruism. And so if you understand that essence, then it is enough to only practice a single deity and recite a single mantra. That is sufficient. But on the relative level, many beginning practitioners don't really understand that due to various karmas and various wishes in their minds. For them there is a need for a great variety of different deities and different sadhanas. So that is why there are so many deities and sadhanas. For example, you have milk. In Tibet, for example, with milk, we make simple things like butter. For example, with milk you can make so many things. For example, only cheese with milk, then there is thousands of different types of cheese, a great variety of cheese. And all of that has the essence of milk. So in the same way, we should understand the practice of the deity. So what is really the point of deity practice? In brief, the point of practicing the deity is to develop love. That is why we practice the deity. And then we visualize like the implements and so on. And so there are some people who have a special
저 같이 네가 좀 이제 그런 때문에 라왕을 봐요 거요래. 저 잡으려는 것 때문에 나빠서 라왕을 봐요 거요래. 그 어떻게요 말 어떻게 때문에 뒤에 뭐 제일 라왕이 거래 사실 제일 라왕이 거래 제일 라왕은 좀 쉬어야 잡으려는 때문에 가리를 가지고 들어와요 봐요. 그래서 너는 그 요래 세는 거 요래 생각도 요래 나타요 잡으려는 망고 요래. 대통령 가르치세요. 저 호랑아서 저 가르치 저 사바도 미리 그 나쁜 잡수는 제레지리더니 레 지바라지니 로도 덮고요래 저처럼지니 문이 덮고요래 주바르디는 도정도 동지바 치는 거 던져 덮고 저도 나오는 유주인데 잡은 특징 잡대로 고쳐 들으면 망고요래 대래 저 나와는 봐 왕시바게 대래 저 강리지는 저기 너무 눈이 시거리 오 the way the Sabbath and you always did up. You walk on this of you, Daddy songs. Oh, the Daddy, Daddy is Jiffy Lord. Jiffy the Carrier, of course, Ramji, the Batson, Zuba, Ramji, you Daddy Carrier, Shetan Tado, Maji, Ramji, you oh, the joke, the something. Then it comes from something that came in which you wanted, something that is J.R. J.R. doesn't need Yahuma, Rabbi Nuna will later or Rabbi by Bahaka, the Italian Zuba. Now, Tata, they are going to tell them something, Tata, they are about something, J. Motion. They are thinking, don't send around in a something that up what something is over what the minutes. There is some other good around the factory, like Jen God, Shabbat, Luigi Pomano, Sensi Podano, Shamata, Shang is Zobo, Senso, Dallas in Hard in it, Zobo Draft to it in it, so Zop, Number Dra. Mangle serve Zoglas of taking the Zoka Dara, you go to the Shagun and Mate, some touch about the target in it is hiding around the top. They don't want to catch it. Given you a ceramic around just on top of the Matana, the Lama material. They don't talk the double metal page of a 10 and the one had of the archimony, don't she's one, Bolapari, no, I use some Ramani Barret. Silver on to something Dakodago, something around Loris, you were driving by Shinitri, you were Pango, something to Dakodama, do the same around to what you want to what you tell it in a lodge, say Channel Lord, one more to debate.
And so why is it important to receive empowerment or to receive such a freedom? Because everyone in this world wants to have the freedom to experience happiness, well-being. And everyone wants to have the freedom to be free of suffering. And so from a worldly perspective, normally ordinary people, they try to create their happiness and avoid suffering on the basis of the results. That is, but it already ripens when the result is present. They try to reject the result, and in that way they try to be happy and be free of suffering. And then according to the religious system, we try to find a way to find happiness on the basis of the causes. Because once the results have ripened, we do not have much freedom any longer. It is better to avoid the causes of suffering. So there are some in this world who encounter much suffering. Even though they apply many different methods to avoid suffering, they have really no choice. When suffering comes, there's nothing that they can do about it. No matter how much they try to avoid the result, there's nothing they can do about it. And so therefore the Buddha had said, if we really want to attain freedom, then we must create the right causes. Once the causes are created, the results cannot be turned around. So what are the causes then? For example, in this world, you can see there are some who are very rich, some experience a long life, some are always happy in their minds, some are never sick, don't experience much suffering, do not have a lot of difficulties. So what is the cause of all that? The cause of that is love and compassion. So if you only hold on to that, if you have love, then you will be generous. And as a result of that, you will experience wealth in future lives. If you love, then you will practice ethical discipline. And as a result, you will obtain a precious human body. If you have love, you will practice patience, and as a result of that, you will have a long life, harmonious friends, and a beautiful appearance in future lives. So that is the freedom that we create by creating the causes. For example, there's many people in this world who have survived the world wars and still have not experienced much suffering. So that is why we need the empowerment, in order to understand the causes that lead to such freedom. And so for that, we first must understand the workings of karma, cause and effect. Who actually creates our suffering? It is our own negative emotions. And why do we have them? It is because we grasp at a self. So self-grasping can only be destroyed when we give rise to an altruistic mind. If you have an altruistic mind, then you will just naturally practice generosity, patience, ethical discipline. And for as long as you cling to a self, just naturally you will get angry, you will get jealous, prideful, and so on. So all of the happiness that is experienced by the sentient beings in the three realms of samsara arises from a mind of love. And that is what we are introduced to during the empowerment, that we need to create the right causes for our own happiness. And so if you understand that, then also conversely, when you experience difficulties, then you will understand that I have created the causes for that myself in a previous life with my own negative emotions. So you will understand that, and therefore you're able to accept whatever difficulty you experience. And likewise, when you experience happiness in this life, you will also understand that to be the result of love that you have developed in the past. So you will develop more love. You will think that I must hold on to this love. I must not lose it. I must be patient so I don't lose my love. And so in this way, you attain freedom of the mind. And then, according to the Vajrayana, we also develop the freedom of the body by visualizing the deity, the generation stage. And however, what is more important is the mind. We do not really change our physical appearance, but we really transform our mind. And then if we do so later, when we die and we think of the deity, then the mind creates the deity. We become the deity. So this is how we attain freedom of the body, by visualizing the deity. And then we attain freedom of the speech by reciting the mantra of the deity. And so by doing that, first we release the grasping to our inner body and the outer forms, and our inner speech and the outer sounds that we perceive. And that is the skillful method of the secret mantra. So in that way, for as long as you do not forsake bodhicitta, in all future lifetimes then, from lifetime to lifetime, you will have freedom. As you can see, there are many examples of people who experience happiness in this world. So that is what is most important. So when we engage in the practice of the secret mantra, we attain the freedom of the deities, enlightened body, speech, and mind. And the essence of all that is love. The point of deity practice is to develop love. That is the actual freedom that we want to achieve. So that is because we are introduced to that fact, it is important to receive the empowerment. Then we will recognize my real enemy are the negative emotions. So you're able to let go of them. You recognize the need to develop love, because then you know you will achieve freedom and happiness in future lifetimes. So that is why the empowerment is so important, so precious, because then we really understand the workings of karma. And so that is a brief introduction to the empowerment, and then next we come to the historical background of the empowerment. Read the history. Indivisible in essence from Vajrayogini, Gelongma Palmo was born in the land of Udayana to the king Indra Bodhi. At the age of 8, she fell ill with leprosy. Once she had a dream where she received a prophecy that she should travel to Likara Shinpel. She asked her father for permission and he sent her off. When she arrived there, she came to a temple that was housing a Chinvesic statue. Although the gatekeeper didn't wouldn't allow her to enter, the Chinvesic statue told her to stay outside of the temple. One night she dreamt of a child that was also her father, who told her that her principal deity is Chinvesic and that she should therefore travel to the other side of the valley to find a monk who is an emanation of Chinvesic in order to receive his instructions on the practice of Chinvesic. The boy said that if she then practiced Chinvesic for 12 years, her illness will be cured. She will attain the supreme city and become the chief Dakini of Udayana. Following his instructions, she practiced Chinvesic for 11 years, but at first her illness got even worse. After 11 years, blood and pus was flowing from her mouth and nose, and she couldn't move her body any longer. Nevertheless, she persevered in practice. One night she dreamt of many Udayana Dakinis who came and told her not to stay here, but to return to Nikara Shinpel and to practice there for 12 years. Then they said she will become Vajrayogini, foremost of Udayana Dakinis. But Giloma Balma replied that she would not be able to go there because she couldn't move her body any longer. Therefore, the Dakinis miraculously carried her to Nikara Shinpel. When she awoke from her sleep, she found herself at that place. There she practiced Chinvesic for 12 years and increasingly recovered from her illness. Gradually, she began to see various other deities. Once she supplicated to Chinvesic and a bright light appeared. She wondered what this might be, and then she beheld for the first time the 11-faced, 1,000-armed, 1,000-eyed form of Chinvesic. And she said, I have practiced you for many years, but you have not revealed your face to me until now. You surely have little compassion for me. Chinvesic replied, I have been with you since the very beginning, but you were not able to see me due to your strong obscurations. And then he showed her his robes, which were stained with all her blood and pus. Then she developed trust and attained the supreme city. Then, in order to increase the Siddha lineage, she took the Siddha Patsangpa as her consort. This was very upsetting to her father, the king Indrabodhi, who developed many doubts. To clear away his doubts, she cut off her head, and casting it into the sky, she said, If I have damaged my vows, then I shall die now. If I have not transgressed my vows, then my head shall return to my neck. And so it did. Her head returned to her neck, and she did not die. And she then became known as the cut-head Vajravarahi. Chinvesic gave her the lunar sadhana of the 1,000-armed Chinvesic and said that if one practices it only a single time, then the negativities and obscurations of 84,000 Gyubelama. Oh, Gyubelama logore. Gyubelama. Juba.
Gyubelama.
Gyubelama ngal logo.
Gyubelama dina yomare.
Ngal logo ngal.
Dina yomare. Mabe di toton chimido di shuare. Tata yene Gyubelama mambo yomare.
So regarding the lineage gurus, Rinpoche said, I won't read the lineage gurus now, but he himself had received his empowerment from the Siddha Chime Dorje.
냐트린 자들이 다요래 니네 이가래들나 내 같이 되네 공룡제도 가라 내발 칼라직도 싸봐서 뒤처때 양처럼 형네들이 칼라직도 봐서 되게 요래 들이대라 가시가 싸봐서 오다 칼라 맞아 비움치 버리 싸고 요래 제 말이야 칼라 싸봐 싸고 차라들이 칼라 같이 맞으나들이 또야 배가 차거지가 냐면 이제는 싸마고 와래 들이 싸봐 타게 그때 이제 칼라 찌나 칼라 찌지 기체 보여 말 거리 아 진짜 좋지 버리 ngā jīni tiri gōmjāri tiri sāba pātā tiri lāngsāng khālā jī khālā māngu tiri jīka nāga yori tiri o nyūni tiri tōsā mārī tiri khālā sā mūgō tōgō mā tōru mā tāna yā kōri tiri nyūni nyīni tiri nīpā lōri tiri nīgōng khālā sā gōdā khālā mā tāri tiri dhirvā tsāma tiri nyīni tiri pīyōng chibōri pīyōng chibā chibdāng chibōri tō ngā jī tiri kōri tiri khālā mā tāri chibō tiri tsā chibōri mārī tiri.
Yeah, so Rinpoche himself received this empowerment from the Siddha Chime Dorje. And so then there's different ways of engaging in this practice. There are the practices of the Nyingne and the Nyungne. So there's two different types. So the Nyungne, Nyung here actually means to be ill, like a sick person, because during the Nyungne retreat, it is said that we are fasting, we are not eating food. And so then some might think that there is a great benefit if we just don't eat anything. There's a great benefit in fasting. So that itself alone is not where the benefit comes from. The benefit doesn't come from only fasting, but it is that when there's nothing to eat anyways, and you're ill, and you still persevere in practice, then eventually you lose the need to eat and you will not be hungry any longer. So that is really where this fasting comes from. But only the fasting in itself is not where the benefit comes from. Actually, what is more important than fasting during the Nyungne practice is to observe a vow of silence. That is actually much more beneficial. So because often people are afraid, they don't want to do the Nyungne retreat because they know that they can't eat, they have to fast, and they think that's difficult, and then they think they cannot do that. But it's actually not really just about the fasting. It is fine to eat some food, but much more important to observe silence. So that's the Nyungne, and then the Nying here refers to the midday meal, the lunch. And so according to the Vinaya practitioners, they always observe Nyingne, which means you only eat lunch and you do not eat dinner, you don't eat after midday. And so the benefits of both practices, the Nyingne and the Nyungne, are the same. And there are benefits of observing these the Vinaya rules of fasting, but what is more important than that actually is to observe a vow of silence.
Om Beda Kato Samaya Pada Palaya Beda Sato Tino Pai Tikate Gomi Bava Sadakayo Mi Bava Sepechayo Mi Bava Adarato Mi Bava Sawa Sebe Mi Baya Sawa Kama Sadami Seda Chiyam Kura Hum Ha 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 ho Bangava Sawa Tata Kata Beza Ma Mi Mensa Beza Ba Ma Samaya Sato Oma Sawa Tata Kata Beza Kata Samaya Ye Oma Haya Java Hongbe Uma Suba Vajata Sawa Tama Suba Judawa to Bajazara to Bangale, only to Roboji and Jawan and Janzo. Hongo de Javale to Mota Jatomami Sapami, the Wajibaji, the Banapata, the Joma, Ruboka, the Bana, the Vena, the Oma. Home base or the mother the dark and our the only Sambara, Sabara, one, the mother the dark and our the only Sambara, no matter what the dark and our the only Sambara, Sabara, to the Jijabari, Jimana, the Roti Jijabasu, the Sabara, the Jijabaku, Janela, the Roti Jijaban, Juba, Tabji, the Yoda. Roy, Congress, the Mojava, the Morning Chata, the Moja, the Sujana, the Jagava, the Lato, or Jagala, the Chitaba, Momoda, Juba, the young Gotula, the Basabaja water, the General, the Jabaji, the Mokola Chipapa, the Canopy, don't think of the human. Jiladi Bama, Cheba, Chonga, Rango, Netera, Dojo, Nesa, Swabada, Sadan, Gayata, Subala, Hong Jana, Hong Jana, Bayan. Ah, they are no, Roger Sontan, the Tawa, Jimbo, Daga, Patan, the Jentaya, Tawa, Soro, the Patami, Batam, Budget, and Budget, Sukulo, and the Judge was on Madame, but the Bavan, but the better talker. Pintaram, but the Charadura, Tom, San, but the Anna, like a home. There is no part of the consume something. The Jenny Saji in Balata, something called child. The Saji Siki Kaka chat on my dinner. Saji is Jim lawyer, the lines of demon, Jogo Saji, Jim Senator. Simply Tanti, Sabati, Jibochi, Konaba, Damega Chadi, or it. Corbett and Jim 다음에 봐. 나도 점점 차롬 잡고 차들이 차롬 니들 먹었다더니 다들 차롬이 자들이 니 차대요. 니들이 좁았다 동네 요래지. 그 다디들이 동네 말이 다디들은 정도. 저기 너는 사지가 탑 초들 가면 다디들 매번 탑 코나래 취재 본거 예세지 동대. 자 다디 매번 탑. 다디 생분지 다나 싸움도 우리 다 동주요 말이야. 속으로구나. 루들 말이 생분내로 하고는 생남과다 생님이 하고는 도다디 하고 대외들은 냠이 탑기다 뭐 나디 벌거래. 이런 거 무엇들이 주바지 마오나데 생분들이란 거 설웅적인 학교 생기 차바지 사실 추찰 싸움들이 생분들을 숨기고 양거래. 생리 차마 사지들이 싸움들 다 내가 차들 대외들이 탑렇게 봐가지고 사지를 면다도 좀 말이지. 이때 메다 로카니 생긴 나가 사지가면서 전진 타게 나데이지 나가 가고 사지에 탑들 퍼리오 아팔로 세카레나도 세번은 이빙을 놓지 잡아 봐봐는 톱송사 되게 뭐해
So all the sentient beings, limitless space in the three realms of samsara, are actually by nature Buddhas. But now, currently, they have become sentient beings wandering in samsara. And how has this separation between Buddhas and sentient beings occurred? It is because Buddhas have developed an altruistic mind. In the 37 practices, it says, the perfect Buddhas arise from the altruistic mind. So the Buddhas have become free of self-grasping because they have given rise to love and compassion for all sentient beings. And we samsaric sentient beings grasp at a self where there is no self, and that makes the mind become like ice. And there's a temporary conflict when ice always bumps into ice. So there's a duality, there is suffering. So it is said all suffering without exception comes from wishing for one's own happiness. So the supreme method that was given by the Buddha, the Dharma, is nothing else but a method to destroy self-grasping. The 84,000 Dharma teachings are only a method to destroy self-grasping. And we realize that there is no self when we just look at our mind. There is really no no I, no self. We just think that there is a self, but it does not really exist. We are not our body, and when you look at your own mind, there's nothing to be seen. It is like space. There is no such a duality of self and other within the mind. So all the practices that we do are only for the purpose of taming self-grasping, destroying the self-grasping mind. And so for this purpose we make offerings. We practice generosity, or we make offerings. We bring to mind the entire outer universe and all beings and offer it all up to the Buddhas. And offering up everything, our mind becomes much lighter. If we think everything, I give it up to the Buddhas, then there's nothing that you hold on to be yours. So for this reason, the Buddha had taught the skillful means of offering the mandala. So now when you offer the mandala, you bring to mind all that self-grasping, of all the sentient beings, countless sentient beings, and your own self-grasping, and you offer it up to the Buddhas abiding in space, and think that in return, they shower down a rain of altruism. So think in this way as you offer the mandala.
메라파가 감니들이 유튜브 사제 탐제 주가 남파다서 찹디요래 고치 샘디 남파 같이래 찹디 니요 말에 로고 좀 봤다고 저들 왕 섞거나 라디 조지베 소주 주선 사제 탐 냠지 샘지 탐들 제와치 보여베 속으로 왔다면 로고 좀 봐나지 ramji pevin ko yore le ta pa tham ji thong ko yore deri ko so ma da ba tham ji thong ma ta se ba ra ji ki bo cha ko yore de ben me ti wa ji tong le le se lo cho wa de de ki bo wa de sa ji san ji ji cho ko yore deri de ve de da na ka kan sa ji yo de ji ne de zo me ji ji de de ne cho cho ke da wang sho yo 이 쇼와보다 조왕선 합때 나관이 차바바바나지 감성치 소신도 요바지 토고 요리 라바도 주의되는 것도 왕의 동도 하고서 왕도 유일지라 토바이 좀 토바지 돼서 그래서 말에 왕의 동도 시주기 쳐버려 법파 고를 줘야돼 배스달려래 말아래 배 법파지 소요 파세왕 라를 사고도 만나고 왕소 사축체도 보자고 대시들 나고 왕티 오 사축체도 보자고 탑에서 말해 이제 왕쇼 요사 소와다 바지지고
So then after having offered the mandala, then think that the mind of all the Buddhas of the three times is the Dharmakaya, and that pervades the entire space. And within that, there is no duality. There's a vast expanse of the Dharmakaya mind. And then within the Dharmakaya space appears the cloud-like Sambhogakaya deities. And so think that the deity of whichever empowerment you receive appears, so that the principal deity appears. So here it is Chandresic. And then think that this principal deity then is surrounded by all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions and the 3 times, who all gather around that principal deity and who all have great love for sentient beings. So those Sambhogakaya forms appear naturally like clouds, and those beings with pure karmas can actually see them. We with impure karmas cannot directly see them, but we can feel them, and we suddenly feel very happy. And that is because we feel their love. We feel the love of the deity. For example, when a loving person comes in the room, you naturally just feel happy. So you feel their love. So now think that in the space before you appears Chenrezig surrounded by all those Buddhas, and that in their presence you receive the empowerment. And think that the empowerment blessings then fall down like raindrops falling down, and they permeate all beings in the 3 realms of samsara, and especially all those who want to receive the empowerment. So therefore, also when you receive the empowerment over the internet, the broadcasting, you can also receive the empowerment. Because Lord Jigten Sumgön had said, when the meaning of the empowerment arises in your mind, then you receive the empowerment. So in order to receive the empowerment, it is important to understand the meaning of it. So the receiving the vase onto your crown, that is not the actual empowerment. That is just a symbol of the empowerment. Milarepa had said, the outer empowerment is to have the vase placed onto your crown. The inner empowerment is to see yourself in the form of the deity, and to cultivate bodhicitta. So actually the empowerment is just a method to develop bodhicitta. So thinking in this way, think that all beings together receive the empowerment, and think that in the presence of all those Buddhas abiding in space, you repeat the supplications.
Dusum Sangye Tamje Dang Lakpe Layi Ngowoni Padi Lame Garinchi Dala Jinang
In English, all the Buddhas of the 3 times and the glorious Guru who has the essence of the foremost deity, please grant me the empowerment.
Nitisan Saje Tamche Dupaso Tata Lama Givichi So Givichi Sayana Chulokayamba Gindin Tela the 2 subjects Saje Tamche Gola Gindin do Songa Tamchi do Toka Saje do this one the she's on the getting killing in Gorsena, choosing just Saje Chopa, Chebe, the Kalgatin do same Jimping do your Song Tamchi legend do your just Saje Tamche, getting killing do some, they walk in the Bachemo, they give you their Tanang to take a same so much high on Gore. Gina Tepa Tanang, round of pain, they gave you Tebachina, Tepakina, the Ragsem Nizina, the Mugger, Pinto, or Mary, not Tepatana, talk your body. You but just Hajin do your the Tata, one could do about it, just Hajin do you, some, they got around the about talk your head.
So we should see that Guru, the spiritual teacher, as the embodiment of all the Buddhas of the 3 times. And that is any spiritual teacher of any lineage or any religion. The Sangha embodies the 3 jewels of the 3 times. That is, the form is the Sangha, the speech is the Dharma, and the mind is the Buddha. So if you understand that, then by venerating or offering to a single Sangha, it is like making offerings to all the Sangha of the 3 times. So most important, the mind of all the Sangha gathers in the altruistic mind. That is the essence of the mind. The essence of the speech of all Sangha is the teachings on karma, cause and effect. If you understand that, then the power of the empowerment will become great. Then you will regard all the Sangha with devotion and a pure perception. And whatever you see purely actually purifies your own mind. So if you have faith in others and you see them as purely, then actually that is to your own greatest advantage, your own greatest benefit. If you regard others as impure and without any faith, then you hold on to a dualistic perception of self and others, and then empowerment will be less beneficial. So you should see all the Sangha as the embodiment of the Sangha of the three times, also especially when you receive the empowerment. You see the Sangha as the three jewels of the three times, and then the power will be even greater.
대다 소와 답에 라마단 되게 라 소용 남자 정도 잡순 로제 뜻과샤바다 개발을 지세야 사초도 생기바 개도 조장도 뭐한테 지난 공도 주자가 남다 지가 이디 나와셔 들이 따다다 왕대셔는데 제가 민구나 당부 강리송도 권초스면서 권초스는 잡수로 거래스 권초스는 사지 잡수로 사지 취소 거래 취재 가래 삼삼제 잡수로 거래 잡수는 대파샤 와스 세상에 뭐 대파 자 관이나 뭐 차도가 뭐 이세랑 와스 그 단지가 뭐 상초도 샘제 봐 되게 다 단지가 단초도 샘제 봐 게다 요정 단지가 뭐 게다 뭐이나리 되게 먹고 뭐 상초도 샘제 봐서 제가 나마도 요마라 하고 좋아 이제 찾으셔야 하고 다들 이제 저 찾으면 권초 섬라 바잡치 덱바 메게 소소샤 로베 게라 지랑 상제 장첩 이지성 상제 취당 솜초라 장첩 바르드 다잠지 랑지 돈이 랍접서 장첩 샘ነ 지바르지 장첩 조개 샘ነ 지비네 샘지 탐제 다키 롱더니엘 장첩 좀초 이ong 제바르지 로라 핀서 상제 럽바르쇼
First we repeat. I take refuge in the three jewels and confess each and every wrongdoing. I rejoice in the virtues of all beings and shall hold the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas dear in my heart until attaining enlightenment. I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly in order to fully accomplish the purpose of others and myself. I shall give rise to bodhicitta, having given rise to the Supreme Mind of Enlightenment. I welcome all beings. I will practice the Supreme Bodhisattva conduct that is pleasing to all. May I attain enlightenment for the benefit of all beings.
Data ina ngade nyemo nyemo la kana ngaja ke nyemo chap chen ro la le ngaja ke nyemo chap chen ro la shedang ke nyemo shedang la so ba nyemo ba de ba xiao ko xia ju yo ha ko a de mo ke nyemo la de mo dang de ke nyemo la sang chu chu sen ji ba yin ping ro ji ba da me ba da de so ha de mo ke o yin ping go dan de ni da de gan ro Rinpoche 로 사족도 생기를 해야 돼. 근데 게다도 좀 나타나 때문에 게다가 나진 양용고요. 대변도나 나 상기고서는 남이야 나요 상기야 요 말. 나한테 나한테 미는 상기랑 이게 차대요. 생코랑 나요 말이야. 대변은 게다 탐지 상생기 돈을 듣고 우상한테 상기에도 오래. 가지 심기를 피고 산들더니 나요 말이야. 네. 대회 등지 나와 나한테 제래지.
Nguma chiksong so diang nguma chiksong so diang shu ko ra. Ding nguna chiksong so. Je ding nguna rum.
이만데 보고.
맞아
보고.
So these were 5 branches, and so the first taking refuge is the antidote to pride. Then secondly, confession is the antidote to especially hatred. And also it is to understand that any kind of negativity can be purified and can be put aside through confession. And then there is the antidote to delusion or ignorance, that is to cultivate bodhicitta, an altruistic mind. So the delusion here is that we believe in a self, and actually there is no self, and that is counteracted if we give rise to bodhicitta, an altruistic mind. And then we realize selflessness. And then also it happens, and then there is rejoicing, which is the antidote to jealousy. And then the last one is the dedication, and that is, although we practice all these virtues, we often also own those virtues, we grasp at them. For example, we think, I'm practicing because I want to attain enlightenment. But with that intention, actually, you will never attain enlightenment because of that I. The I that wants to attain enlightenment, that wants to take claim of these virtues that you practiced. So rather, if you think that I am practicing in order to benefit all sentient beings, as a result of such an intention, you will attain enlightenment. So that's why we dedicate and we let go of the virtues that we have practiced. So most importantly, we have just said in our supplication, may I attain enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. And so that is really where that freedom comes from that intention. So now cultivate such a wish to benefit others. So ideally think that may I be of benefit, may I benefit the entire world. And then think that aspiration to benefit the entire world, that mind transforms into a white Shri syllable. So that is quite easy. We can easily visualize a syllable. So just visualize a Shri syllable. So it is important for the mind to have something to hold on to, so it can remain still. So you are taking the Shri as a support of your visualization. Or at the least, if you can't think of the entire world, you can also just think, may I benefit my friends. Actually, that kind of wish to benefit still has the same nature. In that moment where you wish to benefit others, there is no concern about the self. And the Dharma, we have said, is only an antidote to self-grasping. So that is the skillful means taught by the Buddha. So you cultivate this wish to benefit others, and then in an instant think that this mind that wishes to benefit others transforms into the white Shri. Then close your eyes and just visualize the white Shri. And then later on at some point I will ask you to open your eyes, then open your eyes, and at once look at the picture of Chenrezig that you have received. And then look directly into his face and recognize this is Chenrezig. And where really is Chenrezig? Chenrezig pervades the entire space. So it is not just this one physical form with those heads and 1,000 arms and so on, but Chenrezig is all pervasive. And what pervades is his love. So it is important to think of Chenrezig, then there will be a great benefit. Although Chenrezig is always pervasive, if you do not think of Chenrezig, then he can also not benefit you. So again and again, bring this image of Chenrezig back to your mind. And so for now, continuously focus on the white Shri syllable. Actually, if you only hold on to that image of the Shri syllable, you actually have cultivated the deity.
Lopun, Gong So, Dala, Pakpa, Chenpo, Sharchuk Jekpe, Kosong, Tokje, Jisa, Nawa, Zarta So.
Vajra Master, please heed me, please grant me the empowerment of body, speech and mind of the 11-faced, great compassionate one.
Doji, Zemba, Gong So, Dane, Rola, Pin Dong Te, Zoqi, Chula, Sol De Ji, Cha Jie, Yi Xi, Ji Ze So.
Vajra holder, please think of me in order to benefit wayfaring beings. Please impart the great wisdom of the mantra empowerment that bestows all accomplishments. Then close your eyes and visualize the Shri syllable.
Om Hayang Jiva Hong Wei Om Soba Wa Chada Soba Dabe Soba Wa Chada Toba Gale Pamle Pima Dama Jibe Tewara Ali Dawa Tido Shi Uji Tode Seji Pima Tewa Shi Chimba Tele was there and true the Jaja Chabata or Rube Saji Sachi Tamji Niben Chuba Para the Tami Yondo Chabara Romano Jaga Babaji the Duga Dawa Joe Shar Joe Jaga Tavi Shar Kawa ye jang yong ma wa de de shar sam jang ma ka wa de de shar sam ma ka jang wa che we nam che we ja ra ge ben jam che ya de de to cho we ja ra ta sa de jin ge de ba de de to ta ja ba me je shar ma po to to da de ba ta do ma da ma ja wa ye ni be chung wa sun be jo jin ja tan le de zi ye ji ma be ya da ja de go se ba je be ho lo yong je be yong ni be be ma ka bo da ma je ma da ba sun be wa che lo je be da ya na ba sa la ma gu ja da gu ja ni ju ji je sa ja number 讲吧，啥从今生来西金啊，日当节把小女要么走起么来的呗，上他当，人啊这大节把呗，那么有么个玩把节节那么的节，这把准备用是，准备用是就把准备用的嘛，这干把这么多个这种我们这么这个红。大外问到谁的来，我咱准备上今天这恐怕他什么，你怎么做？你这就是什么？他今天都是靠不到了，讲那是这他妈一般没帮助。我妈那边我说哎呀啊哇了，为什么人家那阿伟些那么呀，老个叫人家那阿伟些不要到什么的。人嘛没去吧，这咋就把这个这个东西，因为电班这边没把多，电班去的，长辫子，他唱那个，今天这个把牙从这男的就大，这个这里来个把子痛，啷成了，下头了，这里看里这里这人过忙不了，这里是不是想了想马上了，谁就不把这个好日子。
So now open your eyes and look at your image of Chenrezig and have that image of Chenrezig at once appear in your mind. And so first there is like a flash of an image that appears in your mind of the deity. And then later in the future, slowly you habituate to the generation stage and the deity will appear in your mind. So, but whether or not it appears now in your mind, it is sufficient now to just visualize the syllable Shri. Compassionate protector, embodiment of all pervasive wisdom, who liberates all beings without exception, Please grant us your blessings. So then, during the empowerment, you will receive the vase, will be placed onto your crown, and you receive some vase water. And so drink about half of that water, and the other half place it onto your crown, and think that the nectar dissolves into your crown. And how you should actually visualize is that actually a rain of nectar blessings falls down from the sky, from the deities pervading space, and think that small forms of Chinrezig having the nature of the nectar descend down and then enter into the open central channel of all sentient beings in the 6 realms. And that is because that is possible because they all possess Buddha nature. So that is their open mind, and the nectar enters into the crown and fills up their entire body. And so think that in a similar way, the entire universe and all beings are permeated by a rainfall of nectar blessings. So you shouldn't think just now I've received the empowerment because the vase has been placed onto my crown. So you shouldn't think in this narrow way. So then the actual the meaning of the empowerment is to recognize the mind of Chinrezig, the mind of bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment. In Tibetan it is Changchup Sem. So Changchup means Chang is to purify. What is purified is self-grasping, and Chup is what then is mastered, what you acquire, and that is altruism. But actually, by only cultivating altruism, self-grasping is naturally purified. So the moment you think of others, in that instance, you do not grasp at yourself. So the mind of sentient beings currently is controlled by the 5 afflictions. These afflictive emotions are like wood. And wisdom awareness arising is like fire. So when the wood encounters the fire, the wood itself transforms into fire. And so similarly, when you give rise to bodhicitta, then the 6 afflictive emotions transform into the 6 paramitas. For example, when you grasp at a self, then you are stingy or greedy. You think that I want to have everything. So that makes your mind very narrow. But if you have altruism, then you think, I want to give away everything. So you can change that greed, that stinginess, instantaneously. So this is how greed, the affliction, is transformed into the paramita of generosity. And so then, as a sign of that, then think that the 5 Dhyani Buddhas then form a crown ornament on your crown. And so that is on the crown itself is the Buddha Amitabha, and in front, at the forehead, is Akshobhya. On the right side, the right ear is Ratnasambhava. On the left side, the left ear is Amoghasiddhi, and behind is Buddha Vairochana. So that is just the outer symbol, and what it means is that the 5 afflictions have transformed into the 5 wisdoms. Being thus initiated, all defilements accumulated through the body and the habitual tendencies of grasping at them are purified, and you have received a complete form empowerment. You are now empowered to visualize your body as the deity, the union of appearance and emptiness. As a result, you are endowed with the fortune to accomplish the Nirmanakaya.
Doji, Zimba, Gongso, Dane, Rola, Pindon, Haji, Wangur, Ishi Che, Mudra, Terwa, Bala,
Vajra holder, please think of me in order to benefit wayfaring beings. Please impart the great wisdom of the mantra empowerment that bestows all accomplishments.
Namo Re Na,
Namo Retna,
Jayaya, Namo Arya,
Namo Arya,
Jnana,
Jnana,
Sakare, Bero, Zanaya, Buha, Radaya, Tata, Gataya, Ahate, Samyasam, Buddhaya, Namma Sarva, Tathagate be, Ahate be, Samya Sambuddhe be, Nama Arya, Avalokate, Shoraya, Bodhisattoya, Mahasattoya, Mahakara, Nakaya, Teyatha, Om Dara Dara, Diri Diri, Duru Duru, Etre Waitre, Tali Tale, Pratale, Pratale, Kusame, Kusuma, Ware, Ilimili, Titi Zola, Abanae, Soha, Omane Peme Hong, Jomdin, Dagi, Zong La Chi, Dala, Niewar, Zeta So, Jodi.
Conqueror, as I have become your follower, please take me under your care.
좀 된다라 달라자 달라고 볼 때도 가지고 달라자 저기 받아서 틀려 줘 버려도 제가 지서 나오면 가고 걸려서 봐 정말 박차 되지도 제가 다 소그 지서 나 말이 봐톱 말라이 제는 상하 작동서 요거를 받아라 왕 레벨 롱거를 바꿔봐지 제봐야 노
Being thus initiated, all defilements accumulated with speech and the habitual tendencies of grasping at them are purified, and you have received a complete speech empowerment. You are now empowered to recite the deity's secret mantra, the union of sound and emptiness. As a result, you are endowed with the fortune to accomplish the Sambhogakaya.
하여 특히 지난 것도 소바데 바데 제대로 도지 zemba 공서서 바네 로라 피동더 바보 도제 법부지 롬초 등지 지도서
Vajra holder, please think of me in order to benefit wayfaring beings. Courageous Vajra master, please cause the samadhi of the Supreme Mind to arise.
Order the Jelaya to cover to your current the Jelay, the Baba, the Java, the Java, the whole soldier, the mother. Father be about talking around the Lars or Nogai, not the Vegeran, Nogai, of the La. Papa Gina, the one, go to a bit the Japan, the Polonia, the Tigan, the Lanya by John, the Caliph, Gomja, she is a Hajachipocons, the Gomja, the Shilata, simply took the Pingo, so man baby home, gone. 그때 대신에 공대에서 자고를 때는 통통이 대인하다다 또 손님마다 오면서 차상을 팩보는 공는 봐 그러나 계속 가래 팩 대대체를 왕거리 야팩이 이 왕거면 팩체디 잠보주고 문화데 다 가장 사지 쪽에 같이 버리 대비들이 저리요리 이 라카는 좁아서는 이 잠주보나 주주보나 들은 다발 양국의 대웅호보디는 속도는 배도 동네 송네 송육이 쳐버리 들이 문화도 자치버리 문화도다가 사지 공부 무슨 문화들이 사지야 문화 쪽으로는 저기요 문화들이 저기요래 들이 저기 로지스랑 문화들이 잡을은 섭지 탐지를 피는 거를 뭐람 다치 버리 뭐람 소 유들이 왕을 패버리
상주문라가
차상아 갈래를 봐주세요. 미소 오면 되다.
So now at this point we have to meditate for a bit. So if you know how to meditate, just settle in a state of meditation, of Mahamudra. And if you do not know how to meditate, now it is also enough if you just think may it be of benefit to sentient beings, and you can recite the Om Mani Padme Hum mantra. So now we don't have so much time. We only had 2 hours for the empowerment. So we also didn't have time for a break, so now you can come up one by one to receive the empowerment, and then you're free to leave. At the same time, while we receive the empowerment, we will also recite the dedication, the King of Aspirations, the prayer for excellent conduct, that we also read yesterday during the birth celebration, the anniversary of the Buddha's birth. And also there's many other good prayers here in this blue prayer book. There is this King of Aspirations, for example. There is the Shantideva dedication. There is the Zambala, summoning of good fortune, and so on. There's many important prayers in there. And prayer in general is very important because those prayers are the actual intent of the Buddha. And all the aspirations of the Buddha are accomplished through those prayers. So therefore, actually, if we want to benefit all the beings in this world, then our most important practice really are those prayers. So we will now read together the prayer for excellent conduct, the King of Aspiration. At the same time, you can also come to receive the empowerment. So that prayer here is on page 52.
이제 거기서 버트마 버차때 디자지바 다 저기 지서당 많이 봐 섬사에 독이란지 사동소 요거를 받고 말아와 내가 죽어도 바까바지도 세바이노.
Being thus initiated, all defilements accumulated with mind and the habitual tendencies of grasping at them are purified, and you have received the complete mind empowerment. You are now empowered to cultivate the nature of the deity's mind, the union of clarity and emptiness. As a result, you are endowed with the fortune to accomplish the Dharmakaya.
소전아 육배 상계당 장척 선바 탐제 달라 공서솔 로쁜 달라 공서솔 나두댕네 정대 제시 장척 닝보라 지제 발터 라파파 지레제 예담지 달성신 대yi 종하 니레 유전더 진누서 다발 지워.
All the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas residing in the 10 directions, please think of me. Vajra Master, please think of me. From today onwards and until attaining the heart of enlightenment, I will take up the exalted deity, Noble Chenrezig, as my Yidam deity, and will recite his mantra daily to whatever extent I am able.
Nemo dana tsayi dala nemo kaya dala ya nyuzi dala dala ma kong chong samja tsang dala yo tani wang la di tabi tabchak yina tabchak nyo re yina tabchak la re re la tabchak re re yo re yina tabi tabchak zo chimbo re tabi tabchak di samhi di chibu re samti di chibu re teta tani shedanga dala ma sho zuba komya dekhi chibo yo re tani tewe 대 라탑지 도도 산축 첨례 이 대회 다다 산축 첨례 난 대다다 저런 것들이 자꾸 와도 되는 로마 탐지들이 이렇게 펩 펩자들이 메소자 펩 초고요리
And so for the samaya, there are root samayas and branch samayas in any empowerment. And regarding the branch samayas, each deity has its individual, very specific branch samayas. But what is more important than the branch samayas is the root samaya, and that all deities, all empowerments share in common. There's only one root samaya really, and that is to cultivate love. It is not to fall sway to the enemy of hatred, but to practice patience so as to sustain one's love. Bodhicitta is the life force of all the deities. So we take as a maya of bodhicitta. And then we will read the King of Aspiration prayers, the Samantabhadra, or the prayer for excellent conduct. So then you can come up at the same time and receive the empowerment, and then you're free to leave. So we will read together the King of Noble Prayers, Aspiring to the Deeds of the Excellent, on page 52. Some of us will come up to receive the empowerment, and the rest of us will continue reciting this prayer. So therefore Rinpoche says, don't get up all at the same time, but come like row by row and go around clockwise to receive the empowerment. So we will start on page 52. Homage to the ever-youthful Manjushri. With purity of body, speech, and mind, I bow to all the heroic Buddhas of the past, present, and future, without exception, in every world and in all the 10 directions. By the power of this aspiration of Samantabhadra, I bow with as many bodies as there are atoms in the world to all those victorious Buddhas manifest in my mind, and I pay homage to all of them. I conceive the entire realm of truth to be completely filled with the enlightened ones. On each atom, I imagine there to be as many Buddhas as atoms in the world, each Buddha surrounded by many bodhisattvas. I honor all the blissful lords, praising their perfections with all the sounds of various melodies, an ocean of endless praise. I offer to those heroic Buddhas the finest flowers, garlands, music and ointments, excellent canopies, choice lamps, and the best incense. I offer as well to those victorious ones the finest array of all excellent things, the finest robes and fragrances, and heaps of sweet-smelling powders as high as Mount Meru. By the power of my faith in the deeds of Samantabhadra, I prostrate and present vast and unequaled offerings to each of the victorious Buddhas. I confess every type of wrong that I have done in thought, word, or deed, while influenced by desire, anger, and ignorance. I rejoice in the meritorious deeds of all the Buddhas, as well as those performed by the Bodhisattvas, Pratyeka Buddhas, Arahats, those who are in the path of training, those who need no more training, and by all sentient beings in the 10 directions. I entreat the enlightened protectors who have attained the detachment of Buddhahood and illuminate the worlds of the 10 directions to turn the peerless wheel of Dharma. With folded hands, I beseech those who intend to manifest the final nirvana to remain for as many aeons as there are atoms in all the worlds, for the benefit and happiness of all living beings. May whatever small amount of virtue I may have gained from prostrating, offering, confessing, rejoicing, and beseeching be dedicated to attainment of perfect enlightenment. May I worship the Buddhas of the past and those now present in the world of the 10 directions. May those to come quickly fulfill their aspiration and reach Buddhahood by traversing the stages of enlightenment swiftly. May all the worlds of the 10 directions become extensively and completely pure. May it be filled with bodhisattvas and victorious Buddhas who proceed to the royal tree of enlightenment. May all living beings in the 10 directions always be happy and free of sickness. May they be endowed with favorable circumstances for achieving dharmic goals, and may their wishes be accomplished. May I remember my lives in all states of existence while in the training for enlightenment. In all my successive births and deaths, may I always embrace religious life. May I follow all the victorious Buddhas and perfect all the deeds of Samantabhadra. Pure in their morality without defect, may my conduct always be flawless. May I teach the Dharma in every tongue, in whatever sounds are understood by living beings, in the languages of gods, nagas, demons, spirits, and human beings. May I be steadfastly apply myself to the 6 perfections. May I never disregard my intention to attain enlightenment and completely remove whatever faults may obscure my path. May I be free from karma, emotional afflictions, and the influence of demons, like the lotus unsoiled by the mire, or like the sun and moon in a clear sky, so that I may proceed unhindered. Throughout all the lands, in all the directions, may I relieve the suffering of the lower realms. May I be able to bring happiness to and provide benefit for all living beings. Fully accomplishing the activities of enlightenment, may I work in harmony with the needs of all beings. May I practice and demonstrate the deeds of Samantabhadra through all future aeons. May I always associate with those whose activities are similar to mine. May we act alike in thought, word, and deed, and may our aspirations be as one. May I always associate with spiritual friends who wish to help me and teach the deeds of Samantabhadra. May I never cause them pain or disappointment. May I always personally behold the victorious Buddhas, those guardians surrounded by bodhisattvas. Without tiring, in all future aeons, may I always present them magnificent offerings. May I always uphold the Buddha's holy Dharma and illuminate the deeds of enlightenment. May I train in the practice of Samantabhadra in all future aeons. Through rebirth in all the states of existence, may I gather an endless store of merit and wisdom. May I become an inexhaustible treasure of all virtues of method, wisdom, concentration, and liberation. May I always behold as many pure lands as there are atoms present in each world, with inconceivable Buddhas sitting in the midst of the bodhisattvas and performing the activities of enlightenment. In this way, may I be able to see everywhere, even on every mote of dust, countless Buddhas of the past, present, and future, limitless pure lands and endless aeons. May I always heed the pure speech of the victorious Buddhas, which holds within each verse the totality of the perfect Dharma and the notion of languages precisely suited to the needs of each being. May I possess the perfect intelligence to heed the endless melody of speech when the victorious Buddhas of the past, present, and future turn the wheels of Dharma. May I accomplish the Bodhisattva's practice of entering the past, present, and future in a fraction of a second. May I know in a single instant all that is encompassed in the duration of the 3 times. May I behold all the heroic Buddhas of the past, present, and future in a single instant. May I always perform their activities through the power of liberation from illusion. May I perceive upon a single atom the perfect design of the pure realms of the past, present, and future. Thus may I enter into the realms of the victorious Buddhas in all directions. When the illuminators of the worlds of the future realize the stages of Buddhahood, turn the wheel, and enter the profound peace of nirvana, may I always be in their presence. May I accomplish the perfect powers of enlightenment, the power of miraculous swiftness, the power of perfection of every spiritual path, the power of all virtuous qualities, the power of all pervasive loving kindness, the power of the merit of every virtue, the power of all transcendent wisdom, and the power of perfect knowledge, method, and meditation. May the forces of karma be utterly purified, the power of passions utterly subdued, the power of demons utterly destroyed, and the power of the deeds of Samantabhadra perfected. May I tirelessly perform the enlightened activities for an ocean of aeons, purifying an ocean of lands, liberating an ocean of beings, realizing an ocean of dharma, attaining an ocean of wisdom, perfecting an ocean of practice, accomplishing an ocean of aspirations, ceaselessly serving an ocean of Buddhas. May I completely fulfill all perfect aspirations to the enlightened activities of the victorious Buddhas of the three times by attaining enlightenment according to the deeds of Samantabhadra. The eldest son of the victorious Buddhas is called Samantabhadra. I dedicate all these virtuous actions that my deeds may be like his. May my body, speech, mind, deeds, and environment always be pure. May I become equal to Samantabhadra in these excellent aspirations. May there be no limit to my activities. May there be no limit to my virtues. Through limitless perseverance, may I accomplish all miraculous deeds. The limit of living beings is like the limit of open space. May the limit of my aspirations be equal to the limit of their activities and passions. Whoever offers to the victorious Buddhas all the perfect joys of gods and men, and the infinite realms of the 10 directions adorned with jewels, for as many aeons as there are atoms in those realms shall gain great merit. But whoever hears this greatest dedication prayer and is inspired by faith to intensely desire supreme enlightenment shall gain even higher and holier merit. Whoever recites the aspiration of Samantabhadra will never again endure hellish rebirth, will abandon all evil friends, and will soon behold Amitabha, the Buddha of boundless light. They will gain all benefits, live in happiness, attain precious human rebirth, and soon become like Samantabhadra himself. Even those who in ignorance committed the 5 unredeemable sins will soon be completely purified by reciting this aspiration of Samantabhadra. They will achieve perfect wisdom, a radiant countenance, beautiful form, auspicious physical marks, and a noble birth. Profane and devilish beings will not trouble them, and they will be honored in the 3 realms. They will quickly reach the tree of enlightenment and reside there to benefit all beings. As enlightened Buddhas, they will turn the wheel of Dharma, taming the demonic hosts. Whoever preserves, teaches, or recites this aspiration of Samantabhadra shall ultimately attain perfect Buddhahood. May none despair of complete enlightenment. In whatever way valiant Manjushri and Samantabhadra know how to transfer merit, so do I dedicate all of my own virtues that I might train to be like them. Since dedication is praised as supreme by the victorious Buddhas of the 3 times, I dedicate all of these roots of virtue to accomplishing the deeds of Samantabhadra. At the moment of my death, may all my obscurations be removed, that I may behold Amitabha, the Buddha of boundless light, and go to Sukhavati, the pure land of perfect bliss. In that blissful land, may I completely fulfill all of these aspirations and benefit all beings as long as the universe remains. Joyful there in that blessed assembly of the Buddha, may I be reborn like the holy ones from an exquisite lotus, and may the Buddha Amitabha himself foretell my own enlightenment. May I thereafter emanate endlessly through the power of perfect wisdom to accomplish countless benefits for living beings in all the 10 directions. Through whatever small virtues I have gathered by reciting this aspiration of Samantabhadra, may all the virtuous aspirations of living beings be accomplished in a single moment. Through the boundless merit gained by dedicating these aspirations of Samantabhadra, may the countless beings drowning in the torrent of suffering reach the stage of Amitabha. May this greatest of dedication prayers benefit countless living beings. May reciting this ornament of Samantabhadra release all beings from the suffering of the lower realms. Rinpoche would like us to read the prayer for world peace, page 38. Page 38. The 3 jewels and 3 roots, trustworthy source of refuge, and in particular the Lord of Snow, Avalokiteshvara, Chetsuntara, and Guru Padmasambhava, I supplicate you, please follow your previous pledges, bestow blessings that this aspiration prayer may be fulfilled most perfectly, due to the degeneration of times when thoughts and deeds of beings are perverted, and the inner and outer elements have lost their balance. Man and cattle are seized by epidemic disease previously unheard of, intruding Rahus, Nagas, powerful demons and dark forces, blight, frost and hail, bad harvest, warfare, and so forth, erratic rainfall, heat, misery, and droughts in the world, destruction by the elements such as earthquakes and the threat of fire, and in particular barbaric offenses causing harm to the teachings are rampant. May all types of harm and injury around the world be swiftly pacified and overcome. May precious and supreme bodhicitta spontaneously arise in the mind streams of all beings, human and non-human, and may they be free from destructive thoughts and deeds. May all be endowed with a loving mind for one another, and may well-being, glory, and prosperity prevail throughout the world. May the Buddha's teachings spread far and wide and ever last. By the truthful power of the 3 roots, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, by any root of virtue existing in samsara and nirvana, and by the power of our perfectly pure highest intention, may the fruition of our supplication and aspiration be attained. Also, Shantideva dedication on page 61. Page 61. By all the virtue I have now amassed, by composition of this book, which speaks of entry to the Bodhisattva way, may every being dread the path to Buddhahood. May beings everywhere who suffer torment in their minds and bodies have, by virtue of my merit, joy and happiness in boundless measure. As long as they may linger in samsara, may their present joy know no decline, and may they taste of unsurpassed beatitude in constant and unbroken continuity. Throughout the spheres and reaches of the world, in hellish states wherever they may be, may beings fettered there, tormented, taste the bliss and peace of Sukhavati. May those caught in the freezing ice be warmed, and from the massing clouds of Bodhisattva's prayers, may torrents rain in boundless streams to cool those burning in infernal fires. May forests where the leaves of blades and swords become sweet groves and pleasant woodland glades, and may the trees of miracles appear, supplanting those upon the hill of Shalmali. and may the very pits of hell be sweet, with fragrant pools all perfumed with the scent of lotuses, be lovely with the cries of swan and goose, and waterfowl so pleasing to the ear. May fiery coals turn into heaps of jewels, the burning ground become a crystal floor, the crushing hills celestial abodes, adorned with offerings the dwelling place of Buddhas. May the hail of lava, fiery stones and weapons, henceforth become a rain of blossoms. May those whose hell it is to fight and wound be turned to lovers offering their flowers. And those engulfed in fiery veterani, their flesh destroyed, their bones bleached white as gunda flowers, may they through all my merit strength have godlike forms, and sport with goddesses in Mandakini's peaceful streams. What fear is it, they'll ask, that grips the henchmen of the deadly Lord, the frightful vultures and the carrion crows? What noble strength is it that brings us joy and drives away our dreadful night? And looking skyward, they will see the shining form of Vajrapani. Then may their sins be quenched in joy, and may they go to him. And when they see the seething lava flood of hell, extinguished in a rain of blossoms, drenched in scented water, at once fulfilled in bliss, they'll ask, how can this be? And thus the denizens of hell will see the one who holds the lotus. Friends, throw away your fears and quickly gather here, for who is it who comes to banish dread? This youth with bound-up gleaming hair, this loving bodhisattva saving and protecting every being, whose power relieves all pain, increasing joy. Do you see the splendor of his house that echoes praises of 1,000 goddesses, the 100 gods who laid their diadems before his lotus feet, the rain of flowers falling on his head, his eyes moist with compassion? Thus may those in hell cry out on seeing Manchu Ghosha. And likewise, when through these my roots of virtue they see the joyful clouds let fall the cooling scented rain, their obscurations cleansed by bodhisattvas like Samantabhadra, may all those languishing in hell come now to perfect happiness, and may the stooping animals be freed from fear of being preyed upon each other's food, and may the famished spirits have such joy as those who dwell within the northern continent, and may they be replete and satisfied by streams of milk that pour from noble Lord Avalokita's hand, and bathing in it may they be refreshed and cooled, and may the blind receive their sight, and may the deaf begin to hear, and women near their time bring forth, like Maya Devi, free from any pain, and may the naked now be clothed, and all the hungry eat their fill, and may those parched with thirst receive pure waters and delicious strength. May the poor and destitute find wealth, the haggard and the careworn joy. May confidence relieve those in despair, and bring them steadfastness and every excellence. May every being ailing with disease be freed at once from every malady. May all the sickness that afflicts the living be instantly and permanently healed. May those who go in dread have no more fear. May captives be unchanged and now set free. And may the weak receive their strength. May living beings help each other in kindness. May travelers upon the road find happiness no matter where they go. And may they gain without the need of toil the goals on which they set their hearts. May those who put to sea in boat or ship attain the ports that they desire, and may they safely come to shore in sweet reunion with their kith and kin. May those who lose their way and stray in misery find fellow travelers, and safe from the threat of thieves and savage beasts be tireless and their journey light. May children and the old, the weak, protectorless, bewildered in the wild and pathless wastes, and those whose minds are dulled, and all who are insane, have pure celestial beings as their guardians. May all attain the human state and be possessed of wisdom, faith, and love, with perfect livelihood and sustenance. May they have mindfulness throughout their lives. May everyone have unrestricted wealth, just like the treasury of space, enjoying it according to their wish, without a trace of harm or enmity. May beings destitute of splendor become magnificent and bright, and those worn down by toil and drudgery acquire great beauty and perfection. May all the women in this world attain the strength of masculinity, and may the lowly come to excellence, the proud and haughty lose their arrogance, and thus by all the merit I have gained, may every being, leaving none aside, abandon all their evil ways, embracing goodness now and evermore. From bodhicitta may they never separate, and constantly engage in bodhisattva deeds, and may they be accepted as disciples by the Buddhas, and turn aside from what is Mara's work. And may these beings, each and every one, enjoy an unsurpassed longevity, living always in contentment. May the very name of death be strange to them. On every side, in all the 10 directions, may groves of wish-fulfilling trees abound, resounding with the sweetness of the teachings spoken by the Buddhas and their bodhisattva children. And may the earth be wholesome everywhere, free from boulders, cliffs, and chasms, flat and even like a level palm, and smooth like lapis lazuli. And from many circles of disciples, may multitudes of bodhisattvas rise in every land, adorning them with every excellence. From bird song and the sighing of the trees, from shafts of light and from the sky itself, may living beings, each and every one, perceive the constant sound of Dharma. May they come into the presence of the Buddhas and meet with bodhisattvas, offspring of the same, with clouds of offerings unbounded. May the teachers of the world be worshipped. May kindly spirits bring the rains on time, for harvests to be rich and plentiful. May princes rule according to the truth, and may the world be blessed with all prosperity. May medicines be strong and full of virtue. May healing spells be chanted with success. May spirits of the air that feed on flesh be kind, their mind imbued with pity. And let no being ever suffer pain. Let them neither ail nor languish, never doing evil. May they have no fear, nor suffer insults, and may their minds be ever free from sorrow. In monasteries, temples, and the like, may reading and reciting widely flourish. May harmony prevail among the Sangha, and may its purpose be all fulfilled. May ordained monks intent upon the practice find perfect places for retreat in solitude, abandon every vagrant thought, and meditate with trained and serviceable minds. May nuns have all their wants supplied. May quarreling, vindictiveness be strange to them. Let all who have embraced monastic life uphold a pure and unimpaired observance. May they feel regret when discipline is broken, and always may they strive to cleanse away their faults. May they thus obtain a fortunate rebirth, wherein to undertake unfailing discipline. May the wise and learned be revered, and always be sustained by offerings. With minds suffused with purity, may they renown spread far and wide. May beings never languish in the lower realms. May pain and hardship be unknown to them, enjoying more than godlike strength and beauty. May Buddhahood for them be swiftly gained. Again and yet again, may sentient beings make offerings to all the Buddhas, and with Buddha's unimagined bliss, may they enjoy undimmed and constant happiness. May all the bodhisattvas now fulfill their high intention for the sake of beings, and sentient beings likewise now receive the good the Buddhas have in store for them. And may the Arhats and Pratyeka Buddhas at length attain the perfect happiness. And may I also, through Manjushri's kindness, reach the ground of perfect joy, and throughout the stream of all my lives embrace monastic ordination. Thus may I abide sustained by simple ordinary fare, and in every life obtain a dwelling place in perfect solitude. Whenever I desire to gaze on him or put to him the slightest question, may I behold the unobstructed vision of Manju Gosha, my protector. To satisfy the needs of beings dwelling in the 10 directions to the margins of the sky, may I reflect in every deed the perfect exploits of Manjushri. And now, as long as space endures, as long as there are beings to be found, may I continue likewise to remain, to drive away the sorrows of the world. The pains and sorrows of all wandering beings, may they ripen wholly on myself, and may the virtuous company of bodhisattvas bring about the happiness of beings. May the doctrine, only remedy for suffering, the source of every bliss and happiness, be nurtured and upheld with reverence, and throughout the vast continuance of time endure. And now to Manchu Gosha I prostrate, whose kindness is the wellspring of my good intent, and to my virtuous friends I also bow, whose inspiration gave me strength to grow.
No, we not get. We don't get. We don't get. Ask them to come back. Yeah, please.
Attention to everyone. Our lunch is provided downstairs. And today, a beautiful day. Hopefully, you can have lunch in somewhere outside. Today, the church had graciously offered us to park in the parking lot. You know that. But however, they request us not to walk around their property. So we just park there. And so we can have lunch outside, maybe around the temple here. Tomorrow is their service day, so we cannot park in the parking. So tomorrow, either you park along the residential area across the street, or you can come around 8:30. We start have a shuttle by the University Mall, the Ox Road and the Braddock Road. You see a giant food in front of giant food. So just come there about 8:30. We have a shuttle to shuttle back here because Sunday we cannot park in the church. And also I believe the book here we can have returned back because for all the event, all the people that can use it. So that's all I have for today. But I'll turn over to.
Thank you, Brother Kwong. Just a reminder for those who have children or know of people who have children that we have on March 13th started the Garchen children practice under the able leadership of Lance Bergerson here, who's our technician and does everything else. And anyway, the mission there, of course, is to encourage our kids in the study of the fundamental tenets and practices of the Buddha Dharma and recognize the values of love, compassion, and joyfulness and meaningfulness in everyday life. Remember, we also have the most venerable Kenshin Rinpoche coming in, and the Kempo Koncho